I am the evil one. My name is. She was dying in the hospital. I stayed by her side. But at night, I was in her husband's bed. I stole my sick sister's husband. This is my story. I am 25 years old. I am an adult woman. But for a long time, I felt like a little girl. I felt like a lost little girl. I grew up in a small town. The town was very quiet. It was far away from the big city. The streets were small. The houses were old. I lived in a small white house. I lived with my mother, my father, and my older sister. My sister's name was Anna. Anna was 2 years older than me. She was 27 years old. Anna was beautiful. She had long hair. She had big blue eyes. She always smiled. Everyone loved Anna. My mother loved Anna. My father loved Anna. The neighbors loved Anna. The teachers at school loved Anna. She was perfect. I was not perfect. I was very different. I had dark hair. I had dark eyes. I was very quiet. I was very shy. I did not smile a lot. People did not look at me. People looked at Anna. I was just Anna's little sister. I was invisible. Maybe you know this feeling. Maybe you feel invisible sometimes. It is a very sad feeling. It hurts your heart. I felt this pain every day. When we were young, my parents bought us toys. They always bought the best toys for Anna. One day, my mother bought a new dress. It was a beautiful blue dress. It looked like the sky. I wanted the blue dress. I wanted to wear it. But my mother gave it to Anna. She said, "Anna is older. Anna is prettier. The blue dress is for Anna." I cried in my room. I felt very small. I felt very angry. I wanted to be Anna. I wanted her life. Many years passed. We grew up. We became adults. Anna stayed beautiful. She met a man. His name was Mark. Mark was tall and handsome. He had kind eyes. He had a warm smile. Mark had a good job in the city. He was very smart. He loved Anna very much. He bought her flowers. He bought her gifts. He looked at her like she was a queen. I watched them. I watched them hold hands. I watched them laugh. I felt the old pain again. I was jealous. I did not want to be jealous, but I was. I wanted a man to look at me like that. I wanted a man to buy me flowers. I wanted love. It is okay to want love. We all want love, but I had nobody. I was alone. Anna and Mark got married. The wedding was big. It was beautiful. Anna wore a white dress. She looked like an angel. I wore a simple brown dress. I stood in the back. I watched them kiss. I watched them dance. I felt happy for my sister, but I also felt very sad for myself. I went home early. I sat in my dark room. I cried. I liked being alone, but I hated being lonely. Maybe you understand this. Maybe you feel lonely sometimes too. It is a hard feeling. Mark and Anna bought a big house. The house was near a lake. It had a big garden. It had large windows. It was a happy house. I visited them sometimes. I sat on their big sofa. I drank their good coffee. Mark was always very kind to me. He asked me about my life. He listened to me. He looked into my eyes when I spoke. Nobody ever looked into my eyes. Only Mark did. I liked Mark. I liked him a lot. I thought he was the perfect man. Then everything changed. The happy life stopped. Anna got sick. It happened very fast. One day, she was tired. The next day, she could not walk. She had a bad pain in her head. She went to the doctor. The doctor did many tests. The doctor was very serious. He looked sad. He said Anna had a very bad disease. He said it was in her brain. He said there was no cure. She was going to die. My world stopped. My mother cried. My father cried. Mark cried. I did not cry at first. I was in shock. I could not believe it. My perfect sister was dying. The beautiful angel was dying. Anna went to the hospital. She had to stay there. The hospital was a cold place. The walls were white. The floors were, it smelled like medicine. It smelled like sadness. Anna lay in a small bed. She looked very thin. Her beautiful hair fell out. Her skin became pale. She looked so weak. I went to the hospital every day. I sat by her bed. I held her hand. Her hand was very cold. I talked to her. I read books to her. I brushed her hair. I was a good sister. I wanted to be a good sister. I loved her. I really did. I forgot about the blue dress. I forgot about my jealousy. I just wanted my sister to live. Mark was broken. He was a broken man. He went to work in the day. Then he came to the hospital. He sat next to Anna. He held her other hand. He cried quietly. He loved her so much. It broke my heart to see him cry. One day, Mark looked at me. His eyes were red. His face was tired. He had not slept for days. He had not eaten for days. He said, "I cannot do this alone. The house is too big. The house is too empty. Please come stay with me. Please help me." I said yes. I wanted to help. I packed my bags. I left my small apartment. I moved into their big house by the lake. At first, I just did the chores. I cleaned the floors. I washed the clothes. I cooked the food. I made hot soup. I made fresh bread. When Mark came home, the house was clean. The house smelled like food. It smelled like home. Mark came home late. He looked so tired. He took off his coat. He sat at the table. I gave him a bowl of hot soup. I gave him a piece of bread. He ate slowly. He looked at me. He said, "Thank you. You are so good to me. You are saving my life." My heart jumped. My face felt hot. Nobody ever said those words to me. Nobody ever said I saved their life. I liked hearing it. I felt important. For the first time in my life, I felt needed. The days were hard. The days were full of pain. Every morning, I woke up early. I made coffee for Mark. We drank coffee together in the kitchen. We did not talk much. The house was very quiet, but it was a nice quiet. We shared the sadness. We shared the pain. Then we went to the hospital. We sat by Anna. Anna was sleeping a lot now. The doctors gave her strong medicine. The medicine made her sleep. Sometimes she woke up. She looked at us. She smiled a small smile. She said, "My two favorite people. You are together. That makes me happy." When she said that, I felt a sharp pain in my chest. It was guilt. I felt guilty. Why? Because I liked living in her house. I liked cooking in her kitchen. I liked drinking coffee with her husband. I felt like the wife. I liked it too much. I was a bad person. I knew I was a bad person. The nights were very long. The house was very dark. One night, it was raining hard. The wind was blowing. The rain hit the big windows. The sound was loud. I was in my room. I could not sleep. I felt scared. I felt lonely. I walked out of my room. I walked down the hall. I saw a light in the living room. Mark was sitting on the sofa. He had a glass of wine in his hand. The bottle was almost empty. He was looking at the dark window. He was crying. I walked to him. I sat next to him on the sofa. I did not say anything. I just sat there. I wanted him to know he was not alone. He looked at me. His face was wet with tears. He put the glass down. He covered his face with his hands. He started to cry very loud. His shoulders shook. He sounded like a hurt animal. I felt so sad for him. I put my arm around his shoulders. I pulled him close to me. I wanted to give him comfort. He leaned into me. He put his head on my shoulder. I held him. I smelled his hair. He smelled like soap and rain. He smelled like a man. We stayed like that for a long time. The rain kept falling. The house was cold, but we were warm. Then he lifted his head. He looked at me. His face was very close to my face. I could see the color of his eyes in the dark room. They were beautiful eyes. He looked at my eyes. He looked at my mouth. He stopped crying. The air felt heavy. My heart was beating very fast. I could not breathe. I knew what was happening. I knew it was wrong. It was very wrong. But I did not move away. I stayed. I wanted it. He touched my face. His hand was warm. He whispered my name. He said softly. Then he kissed me. It was a soft kiss at first. It tasted like wine and salt. It tasted like sadness. I closed my eyes. I kissed him back. My hands touched his neck. His arms went around my waist. He pulled me closer. The kiss became deep. The kiss became hungry. We were two sad people. We were two lonely people. We wanted to feel alive. We wanted to forget the death around us. He stood up. He took my hand. He led me to his bedroom. It was the bedroom he shared with Anna. The bed was big and soft. We went into the room. He closed the door. That night, I was in her husband's bed. I was in the bed my sister bought. I was sleeping on her pillows. I was touching her husband. It felt amazing. For one night, I was the chosen one. I was not the invisible sister. I was not the ugly sister. I was beautiful to him. He touched me gently. He kissed my skin. He told me I was beautiful. He made me feel like a queen. I forgot about the world. I forgot about the rain. I forgot about the hospital. But the morning always comes. The sun always rises. I woke up. The sun was shining through the window. Mark was sleeping next to me. I looked at his face. I felt a heavy, dark stone in my stomach. The magic was gone. The truth was here. I looked around the room. I saw a picture on the table. It was a picture of Anna and Mark. They were smiling. They were happy. Anna looked so beautiful. Her blue eyes seemed to look right at me. I started to cry. I put my hands over my mouth. I did not want to wake Mark up. I felt dirty. I felt sick. What did I do? How could I do this? My sister was dying in a cold hospital bed, and I was in her warm bed with her husband. I am the evil one. I am a monster. I got out of bed quickly. I took my clothes. I ran to the bathroom. I washed my face. I scrubbed my skin. I wanted to wash the night away. But you cannot wash away a sin. You cannot wash away guilt. It stays inside you. I got dressed. I went to the kitchen. I made coffee. My hands were shaking. Mark came into the kitchen. He looked down. He could not look at my eyes. He looked very ashamed. He felt the guilt too. He started to say, "I am sorry. That was a mistake. I was sad. I was drunk. I am so sorry." His words hurt me. They hurt me very much. It was just a mistake to him. He did not love me. He just needed comfort. I was a fool. I was a stupid fool. "I know," I said. My voice was very quiet. "It is okay. We will forget it." But we did not forget it. We could not forget it. We went to the hospital that day. It was the hardest day of my life. We walked into Anna's room. Anna was awake. She looked very pale. Her breathing was slow. I walked to her bed. I sat in my chair. I held her hand. I felt her cold skin. I could not look at her face. I felt like she knew. I felt like she could smell Mark on me. I felt like my sin was written on my forehead. Anna squeezed my hand. Her touch was weak. She whispered. Her voice was very quiet. "Look at me." I slowly lifted my head. I looked into her blue eyes. They were tired, but they were kind. "You look tired," she said. "You work too hard. You take care of Mark. You take care of the house. You take care of me. You are the best sister in the world. I am so lucky to have you." Her words hit me like a knife. She called me the best sister. She said she was lucky. She trusted me. She loved me. Tears fell from my eyes. I could not stop them. I cried and cried. I put my head on the bed. "I am sorry, Anna," I cried. "I am so sorry. I am a bad person. I am sorry." Anna patted my head gently. She did not understand. She thought I was crying because she was dying. She did not know the real reason. She did not know I was a thief. I stole her husband. I stole her life. "It is okay," she whispered. "Do not cry. It is okay to be scared. I am not scared anymore. I am ready." Mark stood in the corner of the room. He was crying too. He could not come near the bed. He felt too guilty. We were two guilty ghosts in that room. That night, we went back to the big house. We did not speak. Mark went to his room. I went to my room. I locked my door. I sat on the floor. I hugged my knees. I hated myself. I hated my jealousy. I hated my weakness. I wanted love, but I found only pain. Maybe you have made a big mistake in your life. Maybe you did something very bad. Maybe you hurt someone you love. It feels like you are carrying a big rock on your back. It is heavy. It makes you tired. You cannot breathe. You want to go back in time. You want to change the past. But you cannot change the past. You must live with it. It is a terrible lesson to learn. The next week was a nightmare. Anna got much worse. The doctors said her body was shutting down. She could not speak anymore. She could not open her eyes. She was just breathing. We stayed at the hospital all day and all night. We slept in chairs. We ate bad hospital food. We waited. We just waited for the end. Mark and I did not look at each other. We did not touch. The secret between us was like a high wall. We were trapped behind it. On a Tuesday morning, the rain started again. The sky was the room was dark. The only sound was the machine. The machine watched Anna's heart. It made a slow beep sound. Beep, beep, beep. Suddenly, the sound changed. It became a long, flat sound. The doctors ran into the room. The nurses ran into the room. They pushed us out. We stood in the hallway. We looked through the small glass window in the door. I saw the doctor shake his head. I saw the nurse turn off the machine. It was over. My sister was dead. The perfect angel was gone. Mark fell to the floor. He put his hands on his head. He screamed. It was a loud, terrible scream. He lost his wife. He lost his world. I did not scream. I did not cry. I felt completely empty. I felt cold. A part of me died with her. The good part of me died with her. Only the evil one was left. We had the funeral 3 days later. It was still raining. The town was very sad. Many people came. They wore black clothes. They held black umbrellas. They cried for Anna. They said she was too young. They said she was an angel. I stood near the grave. I wore a simple black dress. My parents stood next to me. They were broken. My mother could not stand. My father held her up. Mark stood on the other side of the grave. He looked very old. His face was. He did not look at me once. He looked only at the wooden box. He looked at his beautiful wife inside the box. People came to me. They hugged me. They said, "We are so sorry. You are a good sister. You stayed by her side. You are so brave." Every nice word was like a slap in the face. I was not brave. I was not good. I was a liar. I was a cheater. I was a thief. I wanted to scream the truth. I wanted to tell everyone what I did. I wanted them to hate me. I wanted them to punish me. I deserved to be punished. But I stayed quiet. I kept the dark secret inside my heart. After the funeral, people went to Mark's house. They brought food. They brought flowers. They talked quietly. I walked into the kitchen. I saw Mark standing by the window. He was alone. The house was full of people, but we were the only two people in the world who knew the truth. I walked up to him. I touched his arm. "Mark," I said softly. He jumped. He pulled his arm away quickly. He looked at me. His eyes were cold. His eyes were full of anger and pain. "Don't," he said. His voice was hard. "Don't touch me." I stepped back. My heart hurt. "I just wanted to see if you are okay," I whispered. "I am not okay," he said. He kept his voice low. He did not want people to hear. "My wife is dead, and I am a monster. I betrayed her. We betrayed her." "I know," I said. Tears filled my eyes. "I know we did. I am so sorry." "Sorry does not fix it," he said. He looked around the house. He looked at the walls. He looked at the floor. "I cannot look at you. When I look at you, I see my sin. I see the worst thing I ever did. I see her face. I cannot do it." I understood. I finally understood. Our sin destroyed everything. It destroyed our friendship. It destroyed any chance of love. A relationship built on pain and lies cannot survive. It will break. We were broken. "I will leave," I said. "I will pack my things today. I will go." He nodded slowly. He did not look at me again. He just looked out the window at the rain. "Goodbye," he said. "Goodbye, Mark," I said. I went up to my room. I packed my bags. I folded my clothes carefully. I looked around the room one last time. I remembered the night I walked down the hall. I remembered the kiss. I remembered the bed. I wished I could erase it. I wished I could cut it out of my memory. But it was there forever. I walked down the stairs. The people were still talking in the living room. I quietly opened the front door. I stepped outside into the cold rain. I did not take an umbrella. I let the rain hit my face. I walked away from the big house by the lake. I never went back. I took a train. I went far away. I went to a new city. The city was very big. It was very loud. Nobody knew my name. Nobody knew my face. Nobody knew my sister. Nobody knew my sin. I rented a tiny apartment. It was not beautiful. It was old. It was cold. But it was mine. I found a job. I started working in a small bakery. I woke up very early. I mixed the flour. I baked the bread. I made sweet cakes. The work was hard. My hands hurt. My feet hurt. But I liked it. The hard work kept my mind busy. The smell of fresh bread gave me a little peace. For a long time, I did not talk to anyone. I went to work. I baked bread. I went home. I sat in my small room. I thought about Anna. I thought about Mark. I cried every night. I did not forgive myself. One day, I was walking in the park. It was a sunny day. The birds were singing. The trees were green. I sat on a wooden bench. I watched the people. I saw a mother and a daughter. They were eating ice cream. I saw a young couple. They were holding hands and laughing. I saw an old woman sitting on the next bench. She was feeding the birds. She threw small pieces of bread on the ground. The birds flew down. They ate the bread. The old woman looked at me. She smiled. She had a very kind face. She had deep wrinkles around her eyes. "It is a beautiful day," she said. Her voice was soft and gentle. "Yes," I answered quietly. "It is." She looked at me closely. She did not look away. "You look sad, my dear," she said. "You have a heavy heart. I can see it in your eyes. Your eyes hold a lot of pain." I felt a lump in my throat. I wanted to cry. I did not know this woman, but I felt like I could tell her the truth. The secret was too heavy. I needed to let it out. "I did a terrible thing," I whispered. My voice was shaking. "A long time ago. I did something very bad to someone I loved. I betrayed my sister. I cannot fix it. I cannot say sorry. She is gone. I am a bad person. I am evil." The old woman stopped feeding the birds. She looked at her hands. Her hands were old and tired. "We all do bad things," she said slowly. "We all make mistakes. Some mistakes are small. Some mistakes are huge. They break the world." "My mistake broke my world," I said. Tears rolled down my cheeks. The old woman nodded. "Yes, I see that. But listen to me, young lady. A mistake is something you do. It is not who you are forever. You did a bad thing. You feel guilty. The guilt means you have a heart. The guilt means you know right from wrong. An evil person does not feel guilt. An evil person does not cry on a park bench." I listened to her words. I let them enter my mind. I thought about them. Was she right? Was I not completely evil? "You cannot change the past," she said. She threw the last piece of bread to the birds. "You cannot bring the dead back. But you are still alive. You have a long life ahead of you. What will you do with it? Will you stay sad forever? Or will you try to be better?" I looked at the old woman. I wiped the tears from my face. "How can I be better?" I asked. "You learn," she said simply. "You learn from your big mistake. You choose to be kind. You choose to be honest. You wake up every day and you try to be a good person. You help others. You give love to the world. That is how you pay for your mistake. That is how you find peace." She stood up. She picked up her bag. She smiled at me one more time. "Forgive yourself, my dear. It is the hardest thing to do, but you must do it. You deserve to live. Keep going." She walked away. I watched her walk down the path. I never saw her again, but I never forgot her words. I sat on the bench for a long time. The sun started to go down. The sky turned pink and orange. I took a deep breath. The air felt clean. I thought about Anna. I pictured her beautiful face. I pictured her bright smile. I closed my eyes. In my mind, I spoke to her. "Anna," I said inside my head, "I am so sorry. I am sorry for my jealousy. I am sorry for my weakness. I am sorry for what I did. I was lost. I was confused. I was wrong. Please forgive me. I love you." I did not hear a voice, but I felt a soft breeze on my face. It felt warm. It felt like peace. For the first time in many years, the heavy stone in my stomach felt a little lighter. It was not gone. I will always carry it. I will always remember what I did. But it was not crushing me anymore. I stood up. I walked back to my small apartment. I looked in the mirror. I looked at my face. I saw my dark hair. I saw my dark eyes. I did not see an ugly sister. I did not see an evil monster. I saw a human being. I saw a woman who made a terrible mistake, but a woman who wanted to change. The next day, I went to work at the bakery. I smiled at the customers. I gave extra bread to a poor man on the street. I started to help at an animal shelter on the weekends. I fed the stray dogs. I cleaned their cages. I gave them love. I started to read books. I started to learn new things. I started to make small friends. We did not talk about deep secrets. We talked about the weather. We talked about movies. It was nice. It was normal. Years passed. I am older now. I still live in the city. I manage the bakery now. I teach young people how to bake bread. I teach them how to make sweet cakes. I like my life. It is a quiet life. It is a simple life. But it is an honest life. I do not talk to Mark. I do not know where he is. I hope he found peace too. I hope he found happiness. He deserves to be happy. I visit Anna's grave once a year. I take a long train ride back to the small town. I buy beautiful blue flowers. Blue was her favorite color. I put the flowers on her grave. I clean the stone. I talk to her. I tell her about my life. I tell her about the bakery. I tell her about the dogs. I feel close to her. I do not feel jealous anymore. I just feel love. My story is not a happy story. It does not have a perfect ending, but it is a true story. It is a story about human weakness. Why am I telling you this? I am telling you this because life is hard. Life is complicated. Our hearts are complicated. Sometimes we want things we cannot have. Sometimes we feel jealous. Sometimes we feel so lonely that we make terrible choices. We reach out for a hand in the dark, and we do not care if it is the wrong hand. We just want to be held. Maybe you feel this way. Maybe you are young and confused. Maybe you are older and full of regret. I want to tell you something very important. Listen to me carefully. It is okay to feel scared. It is okay to feel lonely. We all feel those things, but you must be careful. Do not let the dark feelings control you. Do not let jealousy turn you into someone you hate. If you make a mistake, even a very big mistake, do not give up. Do not label yourself as evil. Do not stay on the floor. You must stand up. You must face the truth. You must feel the guilt. The guilt is your teacher. It shows you the fire, so you do not burn yourself again. Learn from your pain. Choose to be better. Choose to be honest. It is a long road. It takes time. Healing is very slow, but you can do it. You can build a new life. You can become a kind person. You can give love back to the world. I was the evil one. I stole my sick sister's husband. I lived in the dark, but I found the light again. I baked my own bread. I made my own peace. You can do this too. Whatever your mistake is, you can move forward. You can learn. You can grow. You can forgive yourself. Do not carry the heavy stone forever. Put it down. Take a deep breath. Look at the sky. Tomorrow is a new day. You can start again. I believe in you. Keep going.